out over the field, and the timer was set via the winds. And they were determined with a test balloon on how long to set the timer. So UAVs in combat are nothing new, but where we've come to now is definitely the problem. The biggest issue with the use of drones legislatively and with the opinion of the public is that it is going to be a cost benefit in using smaller aircraft with smaller weaponry. Overall operational charge should be lower. They're simply going to make more UAVs, more drones. We're going to see them in every theater of the war. And we're not only going to see them in the war, we're going to see them here at home, which I'll touch on also. Gates, the old Secretary of Defense Gates, has said that the F-22 and the F-35 are going to be the very last manufactured piloted combat aircraft. Drones are the entire future of combat aircraft. So we're here not just protesting what's going on now, but remember the future. Drones are the entire future of the military.
Shame on it.
I want to tell everybody a little bit about when you hear the word Predator drone. The Predator was the initial aircraft created. It was also known as the Predator A. And when you look at pictures, it's very easy distinction to tell. The Predator A has the inverted tail. Now the biggest aircraft being used now is the Reaper. Now that is also called a Predator. It's the Predator B. The Reaper had the addition of a turbofan prop for faster engagement. It has a V-shaped upright tail. Now here's the big problem coming up that everybody needs to know about. The manufacturer of all the Predators is General Atomics. General Atomics. They created the Predator A, they created the Predator B. The B, which is the Reaper, which is in full-scale use now, is not the worst to come. The worst to come, which is in testing now and should be rolling out soon, is the Predator C Avenger. It is larger. It has a bigger payload capacity, more fuel, and a full jet engine. It includes stealth capabilities and equipment from the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter. This is going to be the worst we've seen yet. This will come out this year, and it will become operational. Yes. 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 Also, they are creating larger aircraft. Northrop Grumman and Lockheed Martin are working on the X-47 and the X-45. These will be capable of launch from aircraft carriers. Then you will see full aircraft carriers full of drones. And in addition to this, they have tested mid-air refueling. Predators can stay aloft for up to 40 hours, sitting, stalking, and waiting. With mid-air refueling, which they're going to roll in, it'll be a permanent grid of the drones. Now, in addition to the use in the upcoming Predator C Avenger, here's a very, very important factor of what they are working on now. Now, the Predators and most all of the drones are piloted remotely. A lot of them are piloted from the United States, all the way halfway across the world. What they are working on now, and what we're going to see to come, when I keep talking about the future of drones, is they are working on the drones becoming fully autonomous. There will be no man remotely piloting these vehicles, or woman. Also, I have with me CDs, and it's on Cindy's website, the actual documents from the government where you can read that. The United States Air Force Flight Plan 2009 to 2047 dictates fully autonomous use of UAVs with nuclear strike capability. They will simply program the mission, and the grid will fly, and they will form into what's known as swarms. They're going to put AI into the fully autonomous UAVs. They will be able to swarm together, travel together, engage their mission together, and if so, launch nuclear strikes. The biggest problem, as we all know and why we're here, is the killing of civilians, innocent civilians. If you look at any article, if you go and Google the term that they use in most all articles, suspected militants were attacked by Hellfire missiles. Suspected militants. That flies in the face of customary international law to be conducting extrajudicial assassinations and murder based on suspect information. This information that the CIA gathers, who has been operating most of these programs in connection with, of course, you know, Blackwater. They get their information from informants on the street, low-level, poor informants who are feeding information. Also, if you think about getting the information strictly from informants on suspected militant housings and dwellings, I ask you to simply look at the no-fly list here in America. Yesterday I read a story, an 8-year-old Boy Scout is on the no-fly list. If that is the best we can do on the ground here in America to gather our intelligence, how are we suspected to get accurate intelligence over in Afghanistan and Pakistan?
Yeah, really.
Now, why we're here and protesting the innocent civilians, the murder of the innocent civilians, is that the whole drone program flies in the face of the additional protocols of the Geneva Convention.
That's right.
Now, we have this document, we have a legal analysis on Cindy's Soapbox website for you to read. And if there's any press here, any people with websites, I have the documentation here on CD, so everybody find me if you need that. And I can even show you a copy of it so you know what you're looking for. And it calls out specifically the protocols of the additional protocols of the Geneva Convention that are being violated.
Because it's against the assassination, right?
That is one aspect, yes.
All right. Against assassination.
There are many articles written in the Geneva Convention protecting civilians, protecting civilian structures, and that's why we're here. Yes. The question is, how can we voice our outrage? This is a good beginning, and we do it in all social forums on the internet, with all our website use and through the media. We're trying to raise awareness, simply. Let's see. Oh, another aspect. This is very important also. There will be what the military calls mission creep. That always comes into a mission that they deem successful. Now, mission creep in this aspect is going to bring drones home. We are going to see that they are already testing drones in the United States and on the borders. The problem with the U.S. Homeland Security Border Protection is that their laws, enacted to them under the Patriot Act, encompass a 100-mile boundary within the United States. Drones will be conducting surveillance in the United States. The big issue is, if you take a map of the United States, come in 100 miles from the actual border, it will encompass 9 out of 10 of the largest populated cities in the United States. If you do the math on this, that will incorporate 2/3 of the population of the United States subject to surveillance via drones. So everything I've told you, this is the future. It's going to get worse, and it's going to come home. It's here now. They're testing it now. You will see it.
Speaking of that, what makes the Pentagon think they're going to have a monopoly on these drones? Like you just said, they're cheap. Other countries are going to have drones, and some of those model airplane people in this country, like I was when I was a child, may not like this surveillance and may loft their own drones. How good are these drones in a dogfight?
Actually, I know the answer to that question. They're not good in a dogfight. There's only been one Predator dogfight with the MiG-25 and the MiG-25-1. But that's a side note.
There's guys that have those privately owned.
Okay, great. So anyway, I've given you that upfront information. Like I said, press people, come and get me. I have a CD with all the documentation on it, and you can go to Cindy's site. And with that, I'm going to introduce Banjo Dan. He's one of our musicians today. He's going to do a little banjo for you. We're going to have another musician later, intermixed with the speakers.
Yes,
David Rovics.
Thank you for coming, David.
So everybody,